Malaysia is moving fast. Once seen as a low-cost alternative in Southeast Asia, it is now investing at scale to become a regional economic hub. Malaysia's recent economic performance shows resilience post-COVID-19. After rebound growth, the government is pushing major infrastructure projects to improve connectivity across the peninsula and to the island states. These projects aim to rebalance growth beyond Kuala Lumpur and support manufacturing, logistics, and tourism. One such project is the East Coast Rail Link, a multi-billion ringgit rail project connecting East and West Malaysia, with an aim to improve freight and passenger flows. Other national plans also include major highways and regional upgrades that support trade and tourism. While Malaysia offers significant potential for investors, families, and entrepreneurs, it does not come without risks. Bureaucracy remains a factor, with permits, approvals, and licensing processes that can vary by state and often take longer than expected. While major cities like Kuala Lumpur and Penang enjoy well-developed infrastructure, secondary cities may lag in services, liquidity, and access to skilled labor. Currency fluctuations in the Malaysian ringgit can also affect returns for foreign investors, particularly those reliant on exports or cross-border income. Natural risks such as seasonal flooding in certain regions can impact property and business operations. It is worth noting that foreign residents need to understand visa-specific obligations, such as minimum fixed deposits or property requirements for long-term residency programs like MM2H, as failure to meet these conditions may affect their legal status and investment plans. Being aware of these realities allows anyone considering Malaysia to make informed decisions and balance opportunity with risk. But despite these risks, it also presents clear opportunities for those willing to plan strategically. There are 5 areas where investors, business owners, and families can benefit significantly. Malaysia sits at the heart of Southeast Asia, providing easy access to Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, and beyond. Its ports, airports, and new infrastructure projects such as the East Coast Rail Link and the Pan-Borneo Highway are transforming logistics and regional connectivity. This makes Malaysia a practical base for trade, distribution, and regional operations. Compared with Singapore, Hong Kong, or Tokyo, Malaysia delivers a high standard of living at lower costs. Private international schools, hospitals accredited to global standards, and modern housing can all be accessed at a fraction of the cost. This attracts families and expatriates seeking a lifestyle upgrade while maintaining financial flexibility. Additionally, Malaysia's real estate market offers growth potential in residential, commercial, and mixed-use developments, especially in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Johor. Investors can capitalize on relatively lower entry costs and higher yields compared to other regional cities. Long-term residency options like the MM2H Program, which may require minimum fixed deposits or property investment, can complement these opportunities for foreigners looking to secure legal residence while investing. Malaysia encourages foreign direct investment through favorable tax policies, industrial parks, and regional incentives. Entrepreneurs can establish companies, leverage skilled local labor, and tap into growing consumer markets. The country is particularly attractive for technology, manufacturing, and logistics enterprises, aiming to reach the region efficiently. English is widely spoken, and the cost of leisure, dining, and travel is low relative to the quality on offer. For families, the ability to integrate into a safe and diverse community, combined with access to nature, wellness facilities, and international networks, makes Malaysia a compelling long-term choice. To understand Malaysia's position in Southeast Asia, it helps to look at the economic landscape through a regional lens, not just in absolute numbers, but in context. Malaysia's economy stands at roughly $488 billion in GDP. This places it just behind mid-tier regional players like Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines, and about $100 billion behind Singapore, a city-state that was once part of Malaysia. On the global stage, Malaysia still trails major Asian economies such as Taiwan, Indonesia, and South Korea, but within ASEAN, it sits comfortably in the upper middle bracket, giving it meaningful economic weight relative to its population size. When we look at GDP per capita, Malaysia has now edged slightly above the global average of around $14,000 per person. This is an important milestone. It shows that while countries like Indonesia and Vietnam may be larger in absolute economic size, Much of that comes from their massive populations. Malaysia, on the other hand, delivers higher income levels and better purchasing power on a per-person basis, signaling stronger consumer markets and better living standards. Stability and institutional reliability also stand out. By regional standards, Malaysia performs well in maintaining order, upholding contracts, and supporting foreign investment. This is one reason multinational companies continue placing technical and manufacturing operations in Malaysia. There is confidence that industrial standards, IP protection, and regulatory frameworks will be respected. Malaysia recognizes that corruption remains a challenge, and its ranking on the Corruption Perception Index shows there is still progress to be made. Yet the country is taking more proactive steps than before. The fight is no longer driven by enforcement alone, but by prevention, transparency, and systemic reform. Through the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, and stronger legislative actions, shaped in part by global scrutiny during the 1MDB era, Malaysia is moving toward a more accountable and resilient governance framework. In terms of growth, Malaysia has shown impressive momentum. The economy has nearly doubled over the past decade. Although its rapid industrialization phase of the early 2000s has matured, Malaysia continues to expand at a pace that is strong for a country already well into middle-income status. And finally, Malaysia's export profile is diverse and technologically meaningful. Its largest export category is integrated circuits, not the ultra-advanced chips produced by Taiwan or South Korea, but still a high-value industry that supports global supply chains. Alongside this, Malaysia has a solid services sector, with a large share of the workforce employed in modern office-based roles. For developing economies, this is typically a sign of structural progress and economic sophistication. Altogether, Malaysia's economic fundamentals place it in a respectable position within Southeast Asia. Not the biggest, not the fastest, but stable, capable, and steadily advancing. And for investors, that combination often matters more than extremes. By combining strategic investment locations, infrastructure connectivity, affordable living, business-friendly policies, and cultural integration, Malaysia is positioning itself as a destination for long-term residence, economic activity, and lifestyle upgrades. The renewed MM2H program adds an additional layer of opportunity for those who want long-term legal residency tied to financial or property commitments. For investors, families, and business owners exploring long-term relocation or expansion in Southeast Asia, Malaysia now stands as a compelling contender. The updated MM2H program offers stability, flexibility, and access to a growing economic hub. Speak with 3D Brand Agency to assess your long-term visa options and map your path forward.